Unit 3, Lesson 3 homework. This is all about multiplying, and we're going to have numbers that might be a decimal and they might be a whole number. So we have 413, and we're going to multiply it by 200ths, or I would say 0.02. Or the way I think about it is that's like saying 2 cents, right? So I go ahead and multiply. 2 multiplied by 3, 2 by 1, and 2 by 4. Now, I do have all these zeros. In fact, I could go through and still multiply the zeros like I would normally do for multiplication. But I'm not going to do the zero past the decimal. Go through and add, and there are 2 numbers that are past a decimal, so I'm going to move the decimal 2 to the left. My final answer is 8.26. Number 2. 0.6, and we multiply it by 801. Now, if I know strategies and I know patterns, I can multiply everything by the 6 and then move the decimal over 1. But let's see what happens. I again multiply everything by 6. 6 multiplied by 1 is 6. 6 by 0 is 0. 6 by 48, or by 8 is 48, and I move it 1 to the left because there is only one number after a decimal between those 2 numbers. 32.5 multiplied by 0.5. So I write this out, 32.5 multiplied by 0.5. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 by 2 is 10, add the 2, it's 12. Carry the 1, 5 and 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Now, I have 2 numbers that are past decimals in both of these. There's the 0.5 and then a 0.5. So I'm going to move it 2 to the left. Final answer of 16.25. Number 4, 6.63 or 6 and 6300ths multiplied by 4. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, carry the 1. 4 multiplied by 6 is 24 plus 1 is 25, carry the 2. 6 and 4 is 24 plus 2 is 26. I have 2 numbers that are after decimal points, so I move it 2 to the left, 1, 2. Final answer of 26.52. It's taking the extra time to notice how many digits are behind decimals that I can feel confident in my answer or in my product. 0.12 or 1200ths multiplied by 12. Now, I already know 12 multiplied by 12 is 144, but I can go through and multiply this like I normally would. My placeholder, 2 and 1 is 2, 1 and 1 is 1, 1 and 0, 0, and I add it up, 4, 4, 1. There are 2 numbers that are after decimals. It's that 0.12. I move it 2 to the left for a final answer of 1.44. Here, now we have 2 numbers. We have 5.9 and 4.4. 4 multiplied by 9 is 36, carry the 3. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, plus 3 is 23. Put a placeholder as my 0, and I go through and do the same thing. Sorry for all the coughing, but I'm still here, yay. So I go through and I add it up. 6 plus 0 is 6, and 6 plus 3 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5, and 2 plus 0 is 2. I move it 2 to the left for a final answer of 25.96. 9 multiplied by 1 is 9. 9 multiplied by 6 is 54. Placeholder. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. 6 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1 is 6. I add everything up. 9 plus 0 is 9. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 6 plus 5 is 11. There are 3 numbers that are after decimal. 1, 2, 3. And I have to take all of those into account. So I'm going to move 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3 for a final answer of 1.159 or 1 and 159 thousandths. 36 multiplied by 7 tenths. 6 multiplied by 7 is 42. 2 carry the 4. 7 multiplied by 3 is 21 plus 4 is 25. I could go ahead and do all the zeros, and in fact, maybe I will. There's a placeholder, and then everything is 0 after that. So I added up. 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 0 is 2, and I need to move my decimal point 2 to the left, 2.52. I do apologize for all my coughing. It's absurd. So we know we're going to use this fact that 28 multiplied by 63 gives me 1,764. That's the product for it. Now you're going to see I'm going to go through each number for 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm going to actually multiply this. I'm going to multiply it out not using a strategy. Right? So 8 multiplied by 0, 0, same thing. 8 multiplied by 3 is 24, carry the 2. 8 multiplied by 6 is 48, plus 2 is 50. Put down a placeholder. 2 multiplied by 0, 0. 2 multiplied by 0, 0. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. 2 multiplied by 6 is 12. I add everything up. 0, 0, 4, 6, 7, 1. Do you notice that I still have that 1764? And in fact, I still get the same answer for this, where I have added 2 zeros to the 63 for 6,300, but I actually went to the left 2 spots to go from 28 to 2800ths. Because I added 2 zeros to the right and I went to the left with 2 decimals, I still ended up with the same answer. It evens it out. Again, I'm noticing patterns, and this is a strategy you can use for when you have problems that are just like this, where you're like, hey, I think I know what's happening. So now we have 630 and we multiply it by 28 or 0.28. I'm still getting that 1,764, but this time I need to move the decimal point 2 to the left. I only added 1 0 to the 63, so my decimal point goes into the number and it becomes 176 and 4/10. And you can totally do all the multiplication by doing it full out. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I start to notice patterns, you're going to see that it's going to make this a lot easier. So my answer is still going to be with the numbers 1, 7, and you'll see on here 6, 4. It just depends on what combination it goes to. So this time I'm added a 0 and I have a decimal point. So where it would have added to be in the thousands, it actually just stays the same. 1,764. This time I'm going to move the decimal 1 to the left and I get an answer of 176 and 4/10. I know it's going to be 1764 and I need to move my decimal point 2 to the left, 1, 2, for 17.64. I know it'll still be 1764 and I'm going to move it 2 to the left, 1, 2, for an answer of 17 and 6400ths. Now we're going to multiply. 9 multiplied by 8 is 72. That's right, 72. But because I have 2 numbers behind a decimal point, chances are this answer is going to be 0.72 or 7200ths, because I take that 72 and I move the decimal point 2 to the left. And I go boom, boom, 0.72. Now, 8 multiplied by 7 is 56. I have 1 number behind a decimal. So I'm really feeling confident with my hypothesis that this answer will be 5.6. 5 multiplied by 6 is 30, but I have 1 number behind a decimal. So this one's going to be 3.0. I could also think of it if I had, a 50-cent piece and I had 6 of them. How much would I have? 12 multiplied by 3 is 36. I have 2 numbers behind a decimal, so this answer will be 0.36. Once I move it 2 times. The Neelys have 87.6 acres of land. The Francos have 0.7 times as much land. How much land do the Francos have? Now, because they have 0.7 times as much land, they don't have 100% of the land that the Neelys have. So it's going to be less. I already know it's going to be smaller. So I go ahead and multiply it out. 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. Carry the 4. 7 by 7 is 49. Plus 4 is 53. Carry the 5. 8 and 7 is 56. Plus 5 is 61. I have 2 numbers behind decimal points, so I move it twice. So they have 61.32 acres of land. Dante bought 6 CDs. Like, what? Are people still buying CDs? That's just crazy to me, like, just to begin with. So they buys them for $13.88 each. So I'm going to multiply $13.88 multiplied by 6. 8 and 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 and 6 is 48 plus 4 is 52. Carry the 5. 6 and 3 is 18. Plus 5 is 23. 6 and 1 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. 2 numbers behind a decimal point, so I move it 2 to the left. And I go whoop, whoop, and I get a final answer of a big number, which is shocking, but $83.28.